Thank you for welcoming Weight Watchers into your home. I'm Claire Johnson, and I'll be your host, helping to guide you through the Weight Watchers at-home weight loss system. You've taken an important first step toward learning how to lose weight and learning to keep it off just by requesting these materials. But remember, you're not alone. Even though you'll be enjoying the benefits of the Weight Watchers at-home system in the privacy of your own home, you'll still receive the support you need every step of the way. This video is designed to help you get oriented to the at-home system. It also features information and strategies that you may want to refer to at different times during your weight loss journey. In your at-home system, you received our exclusive collection of informative booklets. These booklets will help you learn to follow our comprehensive food plan while you benefit from a flexible activity plan and enjoy a unique kind of personal support that's available only to at-home participants. But remember, there's no need to feel overwhelmed. Learning how to lose weight is a process, and you may have questions or need assistance with a challenging situation that affects your weight loss efforts. When you need an answer or just want to talk to someone about the challenges of losing weight, you can call the at-home helpline and speak with a trained Weight Watchers representative through the date on your at-home privileges card. The helpline is a toll-free number that's only available to at-home system participants. Our representatives are there to answer your questions, offer you tips, help you stay motivated, and even track your weekly progress if you like. The first booklets you'll be working with are the Weight Watchers at Home Guidebook and Healthy Thinking. Later, we'll review the other useful booklets included in your at-home system. For now, you can put these materials aside. I'd like you to meet Lisa and Debbie. Like you, they are committed to learning how to lose weight, as well as learning how to keep it off the Weight Watchers way. Lisa and Debbie will share their own experiences with the at-home system and offer you tips and support to help you along the way.
Hello, I'm Lisa.
And I'm Debbie. We know you're excited about your decision to learn how to lose weight.
And learn to keep it off with the Weight Watchers at-home system. Debbie and I have been so pleased with the results we've had that we want to encourage you in any way that we can. You've taken a big step, and we're happy to share our experiences with you.
The things I've learned with the at-home system have been invaluable. The system has become a part of my life. Now it's a whole new, healthier lifestyle that I love. For the first time in my adult life, I feel like I'm controlling my weight. My weight's not controlling me.
I used to think that I had to stop eating in order to lose weight. I ended up feeling like a yo-yo, losing and gaining, watching the numbers on my scale go up and down. When I was dieting, I felt starved all the time. And when I couldn't take it anymore and fell off the wagon, I would get really upset and angry with myself. And then I'd eat some more. Now I understand that I don't have to stop eating. I just have to eat right.
Debbie and Lisa give each other encouragement and help each other stay motivated. Now they'll provide encouragement for you. Getting off on the right foot is important, no matter what you do in life. To help you get started with our system, we need to talk about what you want to accomplish with Weight Watchers at home. Setting realistic goals and expectations can have a positive impact on how well you manage your weight, which means when you are learning to lose weight, it's important to know what you want to achieve, why you want to do it, and how you're going to get there. And because your weight-related goals may not be the same as someone else's, it's important for you to determine what goals are meaningful to you. Clarifying the what, why, and how is your first important step in the at-home system. Lisa and Debbie are good friends, but they each had different weight-related goals and different reasons why they wanted to lose weight.
You know, I realized that I was always focused on the total amount of weight I felt I had to lose.
Me too.
And getting to that weight felt like it was so far away. But when I started the at-home system, I accepted that there really is no such thing as a miracle or magic pill for losing weight. So I set a goal to lose at a healthy rate of weight loss.
My goals focused on how I behaved around food. I wanted to cut down on the number of times I overate, and I wanted to increase my activity level so I felt better.
Be sure to write down your goals so you can keep focused on them as you go. The next step is to figure out why you want to lose this weight, including specific things you can look forward to by doing so.
I also found that the numbers on my scale weren't my only reasons for following the at-home system. I wanted to be able to easily bend down and pick up my kids. I wanted a greater variety of clothes to shop for and wear. These were some of the benefits I looked forward to when I began the at-home system.
I notice I'm more comfortable speaking in front of groups when I'm closer to my personal goal weight. And I like how I feel when I look in the mirror. But what really counts for me is feeling healthier.
Now it's time to take out your at-home guidebook and healthy thinking booklet. Start with the at-home guidebook. As you read the guidebook, you'll be asked to choose a personal goal weight as well as a short-term personal goal weight you can reach along the way. You'll determine new habits you wish to form and identify those you want to change. And you'll focus on the benefits that you'll get out of losing weight. Okay, do you have your at-home guidebook and healthy thinking booklet ready? Please turn off this video and read pages 1 through 12 in the guidebook before turning the video back on. We're looking forward to seeing you again as soon as you're finished. Losing weight is about more than just cutting back on fat and calories. It requires a change in eating habits, a change in activity habits, and a new way of thinking about your relationship with food. Now that you've started working with your at-home guidebook and healthy thinking, you have a better understanding of what you want to accomplish with the Weight Watchers at Home system and why you want to do this. So let's talk about how you can achieve your goals. There are 3 important components of successful weight loss: food, activity, and healthy thinking. Our system incorporates all 3. Think of these 3 components of the Weight Watchers at Home system as 3 equal parts of this structure. Each part of the structure is so important to your weight loss goals that, as you can see, if you remove any one of them, your system, your support structure, may not be able to hold together, and it may be harder to achieve your weight-related goals. You've already been introduced to one part of the at-home system, healthy thinking. Later, we'll introduce you to the activity plan. But now let's talk about Weight Watchers' comprehensive, easy-to-follow food plans: the selection plan, the fat and fiber plan, and the personal cuisine plan. These plans not only help you learn how to lose weight, they'll help you develop sensible eating habits. Each plan has its own unique strengths. All of our plans are based on healthy, balanced eating guidelines designed to decrease fat and increase fiber consumption. It's this simple. Healthful eating that focuses on foods that are high in complex carbohydrates while minimizing sugar, fat, and alcohol gives you eating satisfaction without a lot of calories, which means you won't feel deprived while learning to lose weight. This formula is the foundation of the selection plan, the fat and fiber plan, and the personal cuisine plan. Your food plan basics booklet will give you everything you need to know to use these great plans. But which plan should you follow? I'll let Lisa and Debbie explain how our food plans work for them and how you can use them to achieve your weight loss goals too.
The selection plan is the classic Weight Watchers food plan. It takes the guesswork out of what and how much you should eat to lose weight sensibly and healthfully.
It sure does.
If you want more structure, like I do, this plan may be for you. I like the selection plan because it works well with my schedule. Between the kids and my job, I have a pretty structured routine. Out of the house by 8:30, back at 2, homework, dinner, bath, bedtime, not to mention Little League, shopping, cleaning, trips to the dentist, getting the dog to the vet. I feel more comfortable knowing exactly what, when, and where I'll be eating. And I don't have to worry about figuring out how much I should eat because the selection plan gives me specific limits. And that's a big help because with my schedule, I don't have a lot of time to plan. How about you, Debbie?
Well, I'm hooked on the fat and fiber plan. It's become a way of life for me. My life is really hectic too, but in a different way. There are presentations, reports, meetings, phone calls, and lots of last-minute business trips. I never know when I'll be racing off to an unexpected appointment or staying at the office. I feel like I'm always on the go. The fat and fiber plan concentrates on reducing dietary fat while increasing fiber. Basically, it consists of counting and keeping track of fat grams and fiber grams, which is fairly easy these days since so many foods, including most produce and meats, are now labeled, thank goodness. Because it has a lot of latitude about what and how much food you eat, the Fat and Fiber plan gives you plenty of freedom and flexibility. It's an ideal plan for busy people who like a lot of leeway when it comes to planning meals. It has only 5 simple rules that are easy to follow. I know it helps me stay on track even when I don't have much time to shop or cook.
That's right. Sometimes there just isn't enough time to cook from scratch.
Absolutely.
So I also use the personal cuisine plan. It gives me a complete line of meals and snacks to choose from, and it fits right into the selection plan.
And I can use it for the Fat and Fiber plan too.
The personal cuisine plan is an easy and convenient way to follow the Weight Watchers food plan. Your daily menu is pre-planned, and your breakfast, light meal, main meal, and snack are pre-measured right in the package. You get a wide variety of delicious foods that you just heat and eat. You just add a few store-bought foods to round out the menu. All the information regarding daily totals and fat and fiber grams is listed on each menu card. You can use the personal cuisine plan whenever you like. On the days when you're not using the personal cuisine plan, you can use either the selection plan or the fat and fiber plan. Your Weight Watchers at Home Privileges card gives you 6 months access to purchase personal cuisine foods at participating Weight Watchers centers. Call the at-home helpline for the location of the nearest center offering the personal cuisine plan. While each plan approaches healthy eating in a different way, all share a key similarity: real choice. The chart on page 2 of your food plan basics can help you decide which plan is best for you. We recommend that you pick a plan and follow it for at least 1 week. After a week on your plan, you may want to try another plan. Also, feel free to change plans whenever it feels right to you throughout your weight loss process. Now, it may feel like you've got to do some reading and make some decisions before you start to lose weight. Not true. You can get a head start on your weight loss efforts while you learn about our food plans by using Smart Start. Smart Start lets you know exactly what to eat at every meal and snack. There are lists of breakfasts, light meals, main meals, and snacks. Just pick one meal from each list every day, and you're on your way to losing weight. We think Smart Start is a great way to follow the food plan on your first week and whenever you need a bit more structure and control. If you're out of apple juice or just don't like something on one menu, turn to the section on making substitutions. Using this section, you can swap foods you don't like for nutritionally similar foods you do like without compromising your weight loss efforts. Okay, decision time. When are you going to begin? With your next breakfast, lunch, dinner, or snack? Open your Smart Start booklet, pick a menu for that meal, and now you're on your way. It's also time to stop the video again. Read Smart Start and pick your first meal. Remember, you may want to follow Smart Start for your whole first week. When you're ready to move to the selection plan or the fat and fiber plan, read your food plan basics. Then come back and visit with us again. Have your food lists and your food plan tracker handy. You'll find them included in your at-home system. See you soon. Regardless of which Weight Watchers food plan you're using, there are 3 important habits you'll want to develop to help you reach your goals. First, you should get into the habit of drinking 6 to 8 8-ounce glasses of water every single day. Water is essential to life. It helps regulate your body temperature, carries nutrients throughout your body, and provides you with numerous other health benefits. Plus, drinking water may also curb your appetite, which can make it easier for you to stick to your weight loss system. For variety, add a slice of lemon, a wedge of lime, or plain sparkling water and ice. Another healthy habit you need to learn is portion control. At Weight Watchers, there are no good foods or bad foods. Instead, we focus on ounce of different foods. Even foods that are low in fat and high in nutrients have calories, so portion control is an important weight loss skill. I'll let Lisa and Debbie demonstrate some of the portion control skills you'll want to learn.
I thought I'd have some trouble following the at-home system food plan guidelines. Was I ever wrong? It couldn't be easier. Best of all, it makes me feel finally like I have some control over my eating habits.
That's right. There's really nothing complicated about it. And it didn't take us long to discover that a food scale, measuring cups, and measuring spoons are great weight loss tools. I've been using them for a while now and have learned how to eyeball portion sizes, which is a big help when I'm in a rush or dining out. And I've learned a few tricks. For instance, I use the same cereal bowl every morning, a smaller one than I used to use. Now I can pour the right amount of cereal without using a measuring cup. You can also put your food on a smaller plate. It makes the portions look bigger. You may feel like you're eating more, and you don't need to feel guilty when you clean your plate. Taking smaller bites and eating more slowly helps you really taste your food, enjoy it more, and feel satisfied at the end of the meal.
And I've discovered that I have a portion control tool right at my fingertips. My hand.
The Smart Start booklet explains that your fist
Is about 1 cup or 1 medium whole fruit. Your thumb equals about 1 ounce of cheese or meat. And your palm is the equivalent of 3 ounces of cooked meat, poultry, or fish. This information makes it a lot easier to stick to either plan.
Finally, the third important habit we require is taking a daily multiple vitamin mineral supplement. Although you'll be eating plenty of nutritious foods, it may be hard for you to get enough of some essential nutrients. That's because you'll be consuming fewer total calories. And by reducing your daily caloric intake, you have fewer opportunities to take in some nutrients that your body needs.
You'll find more information about vitamin mineral supplements in Smart Start.
The selection plan divides what you eat into 6 lists of foods: milk, fat, fruit, vegetables, protein, and bread. These lists are contained in the Food List booklet behind the Selection tab. Each food on a list in its proper portion size is called a selection. Selections within each list are similar in nutrients and calories. The plan tells you how many selections to eat from each list every day, which gives you your daily totals. Your daily totals are the amounts of food you'll eat each day. For example, women on the selection plan will choose 2 selections of milk each day, 3 selections of fat, 2 selections of fruit, at least 3 vegetable selections, 3 to 5 selections of protein, and 4 to 6 selections of bread. The daily totals are explained in the first section of the Food Plan Basics booklet. The daily totals for men and youths are slightly different.
Check the chart on page 2 of the Food Plan Basics to see how much you should eat.
In addition to your daily totals, everyone gets an optional weekly bonus of extra foods from the milk, fruit, protein, or bread lists. These food list bonuses are called personal selections because you choose the extra selections from the food list that fit your personal preferences. Each week you can have up to 21 personal selections. You can also add treats or spice up your food plan with optional calories. You can choose foods from the optional calorie list on page 12 and 13 of your food list, or use the calorie information on the nutrition facts label of the food you want to eat. The Fat and Fiber plan has 5 rules and lots of flexibility. This plan teaches you how to lose weight while eating healthfully by counting fat and fiber grams. The rules for the plan are on page 17 of Food Plan Basics. Just remember to count every gram of fat and keep your daily intake of fat grams to between 15 and 35 each day. Eat at least 20 grams of fiber daily, a minimum of 2 servings of dairy food, at least 5 servings of fruit and vegetables, and go really easy on refined sugars and alcohol. The nutrition facts label found on food packages should be your source of information for any food that has this label. Focus on serving size, total fat grams per serving size, and fiber grams. You'll find fiber information under the heading Total Carbohydrates, listed as dietary fiber. For foods without a label, use the Fat and Fiber section of your food lists. It alphabetically lists many of your favorite foods and tells you how many fat and fiber grams they contain. The information in the food lists are based on averages of these foods. So if the information on the nutrition facts label differs from the information in your food list booklet, use the nutrition facts label as your guide. That's the theory behind the plans. Now let's let Lisa and Debbie show us how to put it into practice.
Tomorrow, Lisa and I are spending the day together. Just because we follow different food plans, it doesn't mean we want to eat different foods. Let's show them how we plan the day.
Well, you start by planning the largest or most important meal of the day first. That way, you plan for the foods you really want to eat and work backwards. For us, the main meal will be dinner.
Also, it pays to plan your meals around complex carbohydrates. Then think of your protein as a condiment. Whole grain breads, cereals, rice, grains like barley and cornmeal, as well as dried peas, beans, and whole grain pasta are all complex carbohydrates. They're rich in vitamins, minerals, and fiber, and have a minimal amount of fat. While proteins are important, and you should eat some protein every day, such as lean meat, poultry, fish, dried legumes, and beans, or low-fat dairy foods, you'll get more out of a meal with an emphasis on complex carbohydrates.
We've planned a dinner which includes 1 serving each of the stuffed chicken breast, corn, green beans, a whole wheat roll, and mixed greens with sliced mushrooms.
Using the fat and fiber plan, this recipe gives me 1 gram of fat and 1 gram of dietary fiber. A half cup of cooked corn gives me 0 fat and 2 grams of fiber. Green beans, 0 fat and 1 gram of fiber. At a 2-ounce whole wheat roll is 2 fat and 2 fiber, plus a teaspoon of margarine for another 4 grams of fat. Finally, mixed greens and mushrooms adds another 2 grams of fiber. I'll mix 1 teaspoon of oil, which is 5 grams of fat, with some vinegar for the dressing. I'll record this food in my food plan tracker in pencil, of course. That gives me a total for the meal of 12 grams of fat and 8 grams of fiber. Simple.
Now we'll look at the same meal using the selection plan. 1 serving of the stuffed chicken breast gives me 1 vegetable selection, 2 protein selections, and 25 optional calories. A half a cup of corn adds 1 bread selection. The 2-ounce whole wheat roll adds 2 more breads. Margarine on the roll is 1 fat selection. Green beans gives me another vegetable selection, and mixed greens with sliced mushrooms adds 2 more vegetable selections. And the teaspoon of oil in the salad dressing is also 1 fat selection. The totals for my main meal are 2 protein selections, 3 bread selections, 4 vegetable selections, 2 fat selections, and 25 optional calories.
With the main meal established, let's see how Lisa and Debbie finish planning their menu.
Now that we've added up our numbers for the main meal of the day, we'll plan a breakfast. For breakfast, we picked a half a cup of cooked oatmeal with 1 teaspoon of brown sugar and 8 ounces of skim milk. I'll also add a small orange, about 6 ounces.
This gives me 1 gram of fat and 5 grams of fiber. 1 teaspoon of brown sugar adds no fat or fiber to my diet, but remember, it does add calories, so use sugar sparingly. The glass of skim milk, again, there's no fat or fiber, but it helps me meet my dairy requirement. And now I'll pencil in tomorrow's breakfast in my food plan tracker.
If you're on the selection plan, here's how you would record this breakfast in your food plan tracker. The oatmeal is 1 bread selection, and the brown sugar adds 15 optional calories. The skim milk counts as 1 milk selection, and the orange is 1 fruit selection.
The last meal they'll plan is lunch, and Debbie and Lisa can still have a snack.
We've decided to have a lean roast beef sandwich on pumpernickel, carrot and zucchini sticks, and 8 ounces of skim milk. For the sandwich, I'll use reduced calorie mayonnaise and mustard. Mustard adds no fat or fiber to my meal. 2 ounces of lean roast beef counts as 4 grams of fat and 0 fiber. The bread is 2 fat and 4 fiber, and the reduced calorie mayo adds 3 fat grams, no fiber. Carrots are 2 fiber grams, and zucchini sticks are 1. Neither has any fat. My light meal totals 9 grams of fat and 7 grams of fiber.
My totals are 2 protein selections, 2 bread selections, 1 fat selection, 2 vegetable selections, and 1 milk selection.
Now, for a snack, let's plan a small apple and 3 graham cracker squares. That's 3 fiber grams for the apple. There is 1 fiber gram in the crackers, as well as 2 grams of fat. My fat and fiber total for the day is 24 grams of fiber and 24 grams of fat. So I'll be above the minimum of 20 grams of fiber for the day, and I'm within the range of 15 to 35 grams of fat.
In the selection plan, the apple counts as one fruit selection and the graham crackers are one bread selection. Since I choose to have 6 bread selections with my meals, I'll count the graham crackers as a personal selection.
And just consider what a full day of good, nutritional, and delicious eating this represents.
Once you've been on your food plan for a while, it's easy to plan meals and figure out the proper food portions. Remember that your Weight Watchers food list is an essential tool for your meal planning. As you've just seen, personal choice is a major advantage of Weight Watchers food plans. You'll love the variety and you won't feel deprived because just about any food you want is permitted in the right portions. Now here's an assignment I think you'll enjoy. Working with your food plan tracker, you'll get organized and plan your meals for tomorrow based on either the selection plan or the fat and fiber plan. Plan your meals using the Weight Watchers food list to find out how each meal fits into your fat and fiber plan or your selection plan. Then pencil each meal in your food plan tracker. It's not always possible to accurately plan all of your meals in advance. That's why we suggest that you use a pencil to fill in your food plan tracker. After you've had a meal, use a pen to write down what you actually ate. The point is to plan ahead, but you still have the flexibility to make changes and revisions to your food plan.
For your convenience, we've included in your package the Fat and Fiber Daily Tracker and the Selection Plan Daily Tracker. They help you keep track of what you eat. And if you'd like a weekly picture of how you're doing, you can transfer this information to your food plan tracker. If you're stumped for an idea for any meal or snack, Menu Plan 1 and Menu Plan 2 have lots of helpful ideas.
Also, your guidebook includes shopping list suggestions. Look them over for ideas before you go to the store. And of course, anytime you want a simple and easy choice, you can use the Personal Cuisine Plan. With lots of pre-planned meal and snack options, you don't even have to think about it. Just pick the daily menu that appeals to you, heat your meal, and enjoy. The at-home system is flexible, fun, and helps you learn healthful eating habits. And starting right now, it puts you in charge of your weight loss system. Turn off the video now and come back to us when you've finished planning your first day's meals using your food plan tracker and the food list. At this point, we'd like to help you avoid some common weight loss traps that can sabotage your weight loss efforts. There are 3 easy steps you can take to avoid the most common traps. They are a scavenger hunt, stocking up, and selecting the tools that support the weight loss process. Lisa and Debbie will show you how it's done.
One of the most common traps people encounter when they're trying to lose weight are what are called food cues. Food cues are those things that trigger the urge to eat. By doing a scavenger hunt, you can locate those items in your home and office that make you feel like you want to eat, or that make it easy for you to eat unconsciously. For example, this candy dish looks pretty, but put the candy away.
Some people have food hidden around the house that makes it easy to eat, even if you're not hungry. These are food cues that should be removed to help you reach your goals.
I realized how often I would snack here in the laundry room while doing a load of wash, all because the food was right here staring me in the face. Move it out of sight.
And don't forget to do a scavenger hunt at your office or place of work. I was keeping a jar of jelly beans on my desk for visitors, and guess what? I was visiting the jar all day long. If you're like me, you'll surprise yourself with how many food cues you can discover. This cookie jar could trigger the urge to eat. I used to keep it out in sight. Now, out of sight, out of mind.
If you search your kitchen cabinets while you're doing your scavenger hunt, I bet you'll find some potential traps to avoid. For example, it's very common to stock cookies, snacks, and other food cues on the lower shelves right at eye level. When you're in the kitchen, on the phone, and you get the urge to nibble, you might open up the cabinets and voila, food cue.
Move tempting foods, including snacks, to higher, harder to reach shelves. You might even want to put them into hard to open containers so that you really have to make a conscious choice to eat them. I found that having to think twice made a big difference to me and helped me avoid mindless munching when I wasn't really hungry. While you're reorganizing, put foods that support your weight loss efforts on the lower shelves. That way, if you do want to eat, you make the best choices.
At Weight Watchers, we believe in eating your way to weight loss, but this means eating sensibly and well. We want you to have meals and snacks that you really enjoy. So another way to avoid overeating or eating foods that you haven't planned for is by stocking up. Lisa and Debbie will demonstrate how it's done.
I discovered that the market I'd been shopping at for years is filled with foods that fit easily into the guidelines of the Weight Watchers Selection Plan and Fat and Fiber Plan.
I agree. My grocery store offers lots of nutritious prepared foods that are conveniently packaged. Let me show you one. They save me the added effort of cutting, chopping, and even washing. They may cost a little extra, but if you want extra convenience, they can't be beat.
Another great way to add convenience and ease to your food plan is by measuring out leftovers and then freezing them in individual portions. This gives you pre-measured meals for those times when you don't feel like cooking, but still want to stay within your food plan guidelines.
And of course, the Weight Watchers meals and snacks that you find in your supermarket are the ultimate in convenience. These products fit neatly into the guidelines of either Weight Watchers food plan, and they taste terrific. Only Weight Watchers products give you both the fat and fiber information and selection information right on the package. All the details you need to keep track.
By keeping your own pre-measured meals or Weight Watchers food products in your freezer, you can always prepare a quick and easy meal or enjoy a luscious dessert.
Because fat gives food flavor, you want to have an assortment of herbs and spices in your kitchen. They'll give your meal so much pizzazz you won't miss the fat.
And make sure your food scale, measuring tools, and at-home system materials are easily accessible.
Beyond these tools, I found it useful to have a great set of kitchen tools to help me combine healthy eating with convenience.
Check your guidebook for some examples.
So far, we've focused on following the food plan guidelines when you're at home. But most people eat out in restaurants, at friends' homes, at family dinners. We eat out everywhere, from fast food restaurants to formal settings.
Your Eating Out and Socializing booklet offers many suggestions for making eating out easier. And the food companions are available to help you find out how almost any food counts on either the selection plan or the fat and fiber plan.
With these booklets, you can enjoy eating out without undermining your weight loss efforts. Now that we've looked at the first two components of the Weight Watchers at-home weight loss system, let's examine the third critical segment, physical activity. Don't tune out now. I'm not talking about running a marathon. We just want you to add some activity to your daily routine. That's because losing weight is about reducing the number of calories you consume and increasing the number of calories you burn. I know it's easy to resist doing physical activity, even though you know how important it is. You might say you don't have time or the right equipment, and some of you may have a valid reason for avoiding certain kinds of exercise. Almost everyone can do some form of activity and begin to enjoy the health and weight loss benefits that go with it. We need to uncover the rationalizations about not exercising, call them what they are, and get moving. Let's hear what Lisa and Debbie have to say about the subject.
5. You know, I was never one to exercise, remember?
Let's face it, Lisa, you were a couch potato.
Yeah, okay, that's true. But I found out how great it feels to get some exercise, and I feel better day by day.
And it gets easier for you.
Yep, that's right. As I dropped a few pounds, I could feel the fat burners working. I feel less tired, I have more energy, and this just encourages me to do more.
It's also easy to add more activity to your day.
The activity plan is based on current research on the relationship between exercise and weight loss and weight maintenance. The plan includes 3 types of activities: fat burners, lean builders, and stretches. By combining these 3 types of activities, you may increase the number of calories you burn while active, increase your flexibility, and develop lean muscle, which can help burn calories even when resting. Of course, before you get started on the activity plan, be sure to check with your physician and take the Personal Exercise Readiness Questionnaire in the activity booklet. If you're already involved in exercise, that's great. Use the activity plan for ideas and suggestions, but don't decrease what you're already doing. We are now going to meet Katie Schmitz, an exercise physiologist who helped develop the Weight Watchers activity plan. Katie is joined by 3 Weight Watchers staff members, Stephanie, Terry, and Diane. Together, they will explain the activity plan and demonstrate the lean builders and stretches. But first, Katie will begin by teaching us about fat burners.
Fat burners are activities which use large muscle groups like your legs to burn calories. You may have heard these exercises called cardiovascular, aerobic, or endurance exercises. Basically, a fat burner is any activity which is rhythmic and repetitive, makes you break a sweat, and can be done in 10-minute increments. Suggestions for activities are given in the activity booklet and include walking, biking indoors or out, stair climbing, jumping rope, and swimming. The plan begins with 1 fat burner a day for 10 minutes, 6 days per week. Of course, if you're already doing more than what's asked in the basic plan, terrific, don't stop. But even if you're just starting out, you may find that you want more of a challenge after a few weeks. If so, you can add a second fat burner, 10 more minutes of activity to 1 or 2 days a week. Increases of any aspect of physical activity should be done gradually to prevent injuries and excessive soreness. And remember, you'll have less chance of an injury and less soreness if you'll warm up before an activity, cool down afterwards, and stretch. Warming up means doing a few minutes of lighter intensity activity at the beginning of an exercise, and cooling down means doing the same at the end. For example, if you're biking, start out in a lower gear for the first 2 minutes, and then do the same at the end of your workout. Stretches for the muscles used should be performed after fat burners. Why afterwards and not beforehand? Well, muscles are like rubber bands. Put a rubber band in the freezer. If you try to pull it, it will snap. If it's warm, it will stretch easily. When you warm up, you have more blood flowing to your muscles, which allows them to stretch further. Stretching while you're cold can lead to injuries. We've used the term light and moderate to describe different levels of activity. Here's what they look like in actual exercise. If you're walking, light activity means a pedestrian pace. In this level of intensity, you may feel warmer than you do while sitting or lying down, but still not break a sweat after 10 minutes. Moderate intensity will cause you to sweat, deepen your breathing, and you'll need to breathe through your mouth. You'll be able to talk, but not sing. A mild pulling sensation in the muscles and joints being used is also normal, and so is an elevated heart rate. You may feel fatigued after finishing. Mild muscle soreness for a day or 2 afterwards is another healthy, normal post-exercise symptom. High-intensity activity is not safe when you are just starting out. If you gasp for air, get very red in the face, feel faint, exhausted, short of breath, or dizzy, you're overdoing it. Other warning signs are outlined in the activity plan. The difference between light and moderate intensity may be blurry at first. The rule is, if you feel uncomfortable at any time, slow down, but try to keep moving. In time, you'll become more acclimated to exercise and naturally increase your level of intensity. You may be wondering, which is better for me? A short period of high-intensity work or a longer workout at a lower intensity? What's important is the total amount of work performed. You shouldn't work at too high an intensity at first, but once you've become acclimated to exercise, it's fine to push yourself. Another important thing is to establish a level of intensity that you're willing to repeat 6 times a week. For some fat burners, like walking, we don't need to change our clothes, but proper footwear is essential for success. If you're doing a fat burner at work, like climbing the office stairs for 10 minutes during lunch, change into a pair of sneakers. But remember, sneakers are built for specific activities. Don't try to use tennis shoes for walking. They don't provide proper support. If you have no previous injuries and you get sore in the heels, feet, ankles, knees, hips, or lower back, the first thing to ask is whether you need a better pair of shoes. The bottom line with fat burners is to get moving for 10 minutes a day. Keep the level of intensity light to moderate at first. If you're combining 2 fat burners back to back, remember to go easy at the beginning and end to warm up and cool down. Stretch after you exercise, And be sure to wear shoes that give you plenty of support. Fat burners are the beginning of a healthy activity plan, and even light activity is preferable to no activity at all, so the most resistant among us can begin to ease our way off the couch. See how easy that is? Again, we just want to decrease sedentary behavior, not produce athletes. So now let's move on to the next set of activities, the lean builders. You may have heard that aerobic endurance activities, such as the fat burners we've just seen, are the best type of activity for weight loss. But recently published research has shown that resistance training can be just as important. Resistance training can increase the amount of muscle tissue in the body, which increases the number of calories we burn at rest. And that means we can increase the amount of food we eat without necessarily gaining weight. Let me say that again. Building lean muscle mass can improve your weight loss or allow you to eat more while maintaining your weight. And that's what the Lean Builders portion of the 95 activity plan is all about. There are 12 lean builders in the basic 1995 plan. You should start by performing one lean builder a day. Do a different one every day, making sure each one gets done at least once every 2 weeks. Just like with the fat burners, if you already participate in some other resistance training program or prefer to work with weights in a gym, don't stop and switch to this plan. The lean builders are designed to make resistance training available to people who are just starting to include activity in their lives. There are several items that we'll be using to add resistance and increase the level of difficulty as we demonstrate the lean builders. They include rubber tubing, like Stephanie is using, and you see Terry on the exercise mat with the resistance band. And Diane is using the handheld weights. Begin by doing the exercises with no resistance. The number of repetitions is determined by your own individual ability. When you can do 20 repetitions of a given lean builder easily, it's time to increase the resistance. Always increase the resistance gradually, in the smallest increments possible, a few activities at a time. Each of the lean builders is pictured in the activity book, starting on page 12, with a written explanation of the exercise beside the picture. Now let's examine the lean builders a little more closely. The first of the upper body lean builders is called the wall press. This exercise works the muscles of the chest and the back of the upper arms. It looks like a push-up, but done against a wall instead of the floor. As with all lean builders, your movements should be slow and steady. Take 3 seconds to move and 3 seconds to return to the starting position. Try to avoid holding your breath during the hard part of the exercise. Note that Terry is using good posture while doing the wall presses. Good posture generally means keeping the back straight, with the neck in line with the spine, not forward. The stomach muscles should be engaged, buttocks squeezed, and knees straight but not locked. It's important in all physical activity to be sure the lower back is never overly arched, like this. Ouch. Terry, can you show me that good posture again? That's better. Good posture is especially important in physical activity because of the stress it places on our bones, joints, and muscles. The next lean builder is the rowing exercise. The rowing exercise strengthens the upper back and shoulders. Again, remember your posture. After trying the exercise without any resistance, most people will be able to add a light weight. Women and adolescents should start with 2 to 10 pounds, men with 5 to 10 pounds. That also goes for the other lean builders that use weights. If you want an easy way to make 2-pound weights, you simply fill a couple of 1-liter plastic soda bottles with water. Each one will weigh just about 2 pounds. Here you go, Stephanie. That's it. Good job. Reach for the stars. The next upper body lean builder is being demonstrated in the sitting position, but it can also be done standing. It primarily works the shoulder muscles, and Terry is using the resistance band. Remember breathing and posture. Arm curls, being shown here by Stephanie with the rubber tubing, primarily work biceps, which are on the front of the arms. And finally, arm kicks are for the muscle group on the rear of the upper arm, the triceps. And we're showing this exercise with hand weights. This muscle group that gets a lot of attention from women that want to avoid having floppy arms. When doing arm kicks, start by bending over a chair with your hand and knee on the seat and your free hand holding the weight. When you finish on that side, switch and do the other. It's important to practice good posture in this position, the same as when exercising in an upright stance. Keep your spine straight, neck in line with the spine, and avoid overly arching your back. Initially, you may find it helpful to check your posture in a mirror while doing this exercise. There are two abdominal lean builders, the tummy tilts and the torso tighteners. Both activities work the abdominal muscles, which protect our lower backs from overuse, both during exercise and in our daily lives. These exercises require some cushioning on the floor, either carpeting, an exercise mat, or several towels under the torso. The tummy tilts start with the legs up in the air, ankles crossed, and the knees into chest. Rock the tailbone off the floor by drawing the knees further into the chest. Remember to breathe through the exercise, move slowly, and avoid arching the back off the floor to gain momentum. Good job, Terry. The torso tightener is also known as a crunch or quarter sit-up. Full sit-ups can be dangerous for individuals with weak lower backs. These are safer and just as effective. You can cross your hands over your chest. Great, Stephanie. Let's see the other. Or behind your neck, whichever feels better. Remember to move slowly, breathe, and protect your neck by keeping it in line with the spine and avoiding quick, sharp movements. This exercise, as well as the tummy tilt, does not use additional resistance or weights. Instead, you can increase the level of difficulty by going all the way up to 40 repetitions rather than stopping at 20. The lower body lean builders start with the stand and sit. This activity is familiar and easy and works the muscles on the front of the thighs and the buttocks. We all know how to stand up and sit down. For this exercise, we want to do it slowly, repeatedly, and with good posture. Watch Diane. Her knees are coming down right over her toes, which shows good leg alignment. Her chest stays high, which shows that she's not bending over more than necessary on the way to the chair. And she's breathing normally, as you should while performing all lean builders. When you've worked up to 20 repetitions, you're ready to add hand weights. Hold them just over the shoulders. The knighthood kneel also works the front of the thighs and the buttocks. Stephanie is showing us how to do this exercise properly. Her chest is lifted and her knee is never bending beyond 90 degrees at the end of the kneel. Note that if she were to bring her legs closer together, she would be bending her front knee beyond 90 degrees. This places unnecessary stress on the knee joint and should be avoided. Stephanie's abdominal muscles are being used to protect her lower back from overly arching as well. If you're finding that you're having trouble with your balance doing this exercise, try holding on to the back of a chair. The other standing lean builder for the legs is the heel raise, which works the muscles in the lower leg. This requires the use of a wall or chair to balance with. Diane is slowly rising up in the balls of her feet and returning to her heels. Again, as with all of the lean builders, concentrate on maintaining good posture, breathing normally, and moving slowly through the exercise. The leg lifts are done while lying on the side and therefore require a padded surface. This set of leg lifts works the muscles that shape the outer thigh. Terry is showing us that we need to keep our lower back protected by keeping the heels in front of the body and lifting from the leg, not from the hip. Lifting from the hip is dangerous for the lower back. You want to stay away from any sharp, quick twisting movements in the lower back. One way to be sure you're lifting correctly is to imagine there's a paintbrush attached to your knee and you're trying to paint on a canvas that is just out of your reach. These lifts can also be done with the resistance band tied around the thighs just above the knees or with a light weight held on top of the thigh. The other leg lift is also done lying on your side, but this one works the muscles of the inner thigh. Start with the top knee bent, foot on the floor, behind the bottom leg, which is extended on a diagonal. This bottom leg lifts and lowers several inches off the floor. Be careful not to roll too far back with the top hip, because it will place your lower back in a compromised position. If this position is not comfortable, you can bring the top leg in front of the bottom one with the foot on the floor, or even drop the knee to the floor for maximum lower back support. Start with one lean builder a day, rotating through the cycle of 12. With all the lean builders, remember to start with no resistance to prevent injury and soreness. Do only as many repetitions as you can do comfortably. Slowly work your way up to 20 repetitions and then increase the resistance gradually. Women and adolescents should begin with 2 to 10 pounds, men with 5 to 10 pounds. Always remember to breathe normally and work with slow, steady movements. Maintain good posture, back straight, neck in line with your spine, knees straight but not locked. It takes time to increase the amount of muscle tissue and begin to see the exciting changes we spoke of earlier. But with a few minutes a day and a little commitment to gradually increasing the resistance of each activity, everyone can do it. As we discussed in the segment on fat burners, stretches should always be done after you've given your body a chance to warm up, either by moving about in daily activities or after a specific lean builder or fat burner. The stretches are designed specifically to increase the flexibility of the larger muscle groups in the body. Stretching helps you prevent injuries and excessive soreness. Also, flexibility is important to our daily functioning, especially as we get older. Stretching should be done gently and without force. Never bounce through a stretch. Always keep breathing and maintain the same good posture we discussed at the beginning of the Lean Builders section. There are 12 stretches in the activity plan, and they work the same muscles that are strengthened in the Lean Builders, so it's a good idea to do them together. For example, you might want to do the front thigh stretch the same day that you do the stand and sit exercise. The stretches are pictured starting on page 15 of the activity booklet in the same order as the Lean Builders, so you can easily match them up. Now let's examine the stretches a little more closely. Terry's going to help me by demonstrating the upper body stretches. For the chest stretch, clasp your hands behind your back and slowly raise your arms behind you. Try not to bend over. Hold each stretch for at least 10 to 30 seconds. For the upper back stretch, reverse the position of the chest stretch. Interlace your fingers with the palms turned away from you and gently press your hands away from your chest. For the towel stretch, hold a towel in one hand and reach back between your shoulder blades. Reach up from below with the other hand and grasp the other end of the towel. Gently walk your fingers towards each other on the towel. When you're done, switch arms and repeat the stretch. For the shoulder stretch, reach one arm in front of you with your shoulder relaxed and dropped away from your ear. Gently use the other hand to press the elbow further across the chest. Then switch arms and do the other side. For the overhead arm stretch, place one hand on your back, reaching the palm towards the opposite shoulder blade. Use your other hand to gently press your elbow towards your head. Do both sides. Diane is going to help me with the abdominal and lower back stretches. For the standing lower back stretch, stand with your feet wide apart and bend your knees. Curve your spine into the shape of a C. Rest your hands on your knees and try to focus on tilting the pelvis and pulling the waist back. The turtle stretch is done on a padded surface lying on your belly. Start with the forehead on the ground, hands under the shoulders. Slowly lift the top of your head and arch your upper back. Gently press down with your hands. Keep the buttocks tight. This abdominal stretch is also a strengthener for the lower back. By the way, if you experience pain in this or any other activity, discontinue that exercise and consult a physician. Stephanie will be helping me with the lower body stretches. There are 3 stretches that correspond to the standing lower body lean builders. In the front thigh stretch, you will need something to balance with. Raise one heel to the buttocks, reach behind with the opposite hand and hold the top of your foot. And it is important to use the opposite hand and foot. That helps protect the knee ligaments. For the hamstring stretch, you'll need a chair or low table. Extend one leg in front of you on the chair. Bend the other knee and reach your chest forward. Reach the opposite hand to the outstretched foot and gently pull the toes back towards you. If your outstretched leg is bent, try to extend it. The calf stretch is done standing, leaning into a wall. Bend one knee and place the toes a few inches from the wall, pointing forward. Place the forearms on the wall. Extend the other leg behind you with your toes pointing directly toward the wall. Look down to make sure your toes are pointed in the right direction. Press the heel toward the floor, and then switch and do the other side. The outer thigh or lower back stretch is done lying on your back. Start with both knees bent and clasp your hands behind your head. Cross one knee over the other and gently drop both knees towards the side of the top knee. Keep breathing, avoid arching your back, and ease your way in and out of this position. Great, Stephanie. The inner thigh stretch is also done on the floor in a seated position. Bend the knees and place the soles of your shoes together, knees dropped open. Put your hands on your ankles and gently bend forward, reaching the crown of your head toward your ankles. Stretching is very important for maintaining flexibility, and we only need to remember a few simple rules to avoid injury and get the maximum benefit from our stretches. Let's go over them. Stretching should be done gently and without force. Hold the stretch for 10 to 30 seconds. Never bounce through a stretch. Always keep breathing and maintain the same good posture we discussed at the beginning of the Lean Builder section. Don't get discouraged if you can't twist yourself into a lotus position the first week. Just take it easy and keep breathing. You'll soon see some progress. Terry, Stephanie, Diane, thank you. And thank you for your attention, and I look forward to hearing about your progress.
Now you're on your way with Weight Watchers at-home weight loss system and your toll-free helpline. You'll be able to keep on track and learn how to achieve your weight-related goals. And don't forget, you may find it useful to play this tape from time to time to reinforce your new healthy, active lifestyle or have a question answered. And be sure to call our at-home helpline should you have any questions or concerns. We're here to help you help yourself. Thank you again from all of us at Weight Watchers for bringing us into your home.